We arrived at the Bonvido, where we were spending our next 7 days and nights in the hills of Andalusia, and we had met Elaine, who was taking the retreat, and two other ladies who, like us, were also on the retreat. We'd enjoyed a delicious meal cooked by Jeannie, our hostess, who, along with Sam, our host, owned the estate, which was set in 750 acres of woodland. Idyllic. We'd had a great day. Sam had met us in Seville, and he had taken us on a pub crawl to show us the parts of Seville tourists just don't get to see. First stop was a convent, where he purchased biscuits for our tea. He knocked at this tiny door in the wall, and a nun answered it. He asked her if he could buy a bag of biscuits. She went away and returned with not one, but 2 bags of biscuits. She gave the second bag free because he had been so kind and had purchased the first bag of biscuits. We stopped off at the local market, tasting the fresh prawns amongst other seafood, which, to be honest, I couldn't bear the sight of. Never mind put in my mouth. I am not very adventurous when it comes to food. Sam ordered wine from the wine merchants, which hopefully would last us the week, and then we were on our way. We tasted Parma ham and smoked tuna amongst other things, and the local sherry was a must. By 4 p.m. we were in the people carrier, on our way to our destination, feeling somewhat apprehensive but very excited, as we just did not know what the week had in store for us. Their estate with 750 acres of woodland astounded us. The house looked so much older than it really was. Jeannie and Sam had arrived in Spain 32 years previously. They bought the land and, after much thought and consideration, decided that where they were going to build their home. Jeannie, who had just given birth to their son, had used their pram with chalk on its wheels to draw out the plan of the house on the earth. The plans for the house. They had built a most beautiful house which looked 300 years old, not just 32, and it was so quirky, just like them. Anyhow, I've set the scene. My friend and I were staying in a room on the second floor, and after supper and after an exciting but exhausting day, we decided it was time to retire to our room. We struggled up the 5 flights of stairs to our room, but on getting there, found great difficulty allocating the light switch. I told you it was quirky. The light switch was not where you would normally find a light switch. I had remembered seeing 2 plugs in between our beds earlier in the day when we had unpacked. So I fumbled around in the dark, found one and plugged it in. Just then, the light came on, so I thought no more about it. We got washed and ready for bed, said goodnight, and switched off the light. Would you know what you know what it's like, your first night on holiday. I tossed and turned, and must have eventually dropped off into a deep sleep when suddenly the light went on. My friend was screaming, "I'm on fire!" She's screaming to me, feel under my pillow. It's roasting. I got out of bed and felt it. It indeed was red hot. Unknowingly, I had plugged in the electric blanket by mistake when I thought I'd switched on the light. The temperature in the room must have been in the 20s. She certainly did not need an electric blanket on. Well, we laughed and laughed. Eventually we switched the light off, but I kept thinking about what had just happened and bursting into a fit of giggles. Even today, if it comes up in conversation, we do start laughing. The next morning we had to write in our journal for 10 minutes with whatever came into our heads. The tears were streaming down my face, and I was having great difficulty writing. My friend, in a very cross voice, was saying, "I know what you're writing about." well, we had to tell the others what had happened the night before. And before long, we were all laughing, including my friend. We had many laughs that holiday, and it was one of our most memorable. I had spotted a small advert about the retreat, advertised in Woman and Home, and had thought, why not? So as the saying goes, feel the fear and do it anyway. Sometimes, when we don't know what's coming, turns out to be so special. Just be careful which plug you plug in.